What's going on, guys? Chris here. So I'm back with the Bambu Lab printer. I am putting the second heater into this printer. I did do a Stealth Burner tool head, the cover, the front part, and it actually came out really well in ABS glass fiber. It came out. It's actually on the printer now. I'll show it to you. But I'm going to. I'm just about to. I need to do a new, an additional Dragon high flow bottom end of the hot end, because I have another Dragon high flow setup that I want to have an additional, like a backup, because that tends to be a pretty good hot end for the Voron. And then I actually use for the actual hot end, I use they have these things on Amazon. They're like it's like a plate. It's similar to the Bambu Labs in the fact that it's a plate heater, but it's much bigger and longer. It's longer, it's wider, the heating element's larger, and they actually work extremely well. I have the standard high flow setup as well, but those actually work better, and even better than I've used the cylindrical circular ones. These ones heat up very fast. They're consistent. You don't get errors. The only error I do get sometimes is the CPAP fan is too strong, and it if I don't have the sock on it, it'll cool down the hot end too much. But you just lower the fan speed, or keep the sock on if you need a lot of airflow. So I'm adding the second heater. I'm just going to cut and splice this wire, and then I have a double Wago I'm going to put in, and then the power wire for this I'll probably replace whatever I took this one from with. But I took this one because, first of all, I couldn't find the other wire like I did in the last video, but more importantly, because it's got an angle like this, it's going to be a better fit. So that's why I didn't bother even trying to find it, and I will when I need it for whatever I took this from. But right now, this is the best thing for the job. So this is not the one I wanted. So these little clips for the wire. It turns out, so I have the ones with the automotive type of adhesive tape that I showed you last time. But these ones with the white 3M tape actually are better for this application, because honestly I don't know why, because normally this gray stuff is a much better adhesive, but for this type of plastic it just doesn't stick it that well. But this stuff really does. These little 3M ones with the white foam tape, it's a more common double-sided tape. This stuff actually works better in this application for sure. But on a vehicle, the other stuff works better. All right, we're gonna put it right there. So I'm doing pretty much the same thing I did on the other side. I'm just putting this. I'm making the wire go right up against the wall with these little wire clips, and I need them to stick well because the wires got memory. Then I'm going to cut and splice this. This is actually the wire I think I'm going to use going to the wall. So I need to make sure that I get it as long as I can. So I'm probably going to try to feed it through here before I cut it. That should be good. Maybe one more clip right there. Yep, keep that nice and clean. All right, it looks good in there. It's convenient that these heaters are so small. They actually, this is a tight space. I have, typical PTC heaters that I've used for my high temperature printer, for several other things, other printers, and I even have a very large heating element that I was going to use on the high temperature printer, and I ended up using multiple small ones instead. But I'm glad that these were shown in that other video that I saw, because these are perfect size for this. It's almost literally like they were made for it. And then I have a printed Wago mount and with a couple of Wagos in it. And they're 3-pin Wagos, but I think I'm only going to need 2. These cords don't have grounds. So I'm going to cut and splice this back here. So that's about where I need that right there. Let's see where I'm going to put this Wago clip. It's going to go right there. All right, so I'm going to clean that up, and I'm going to put some double-sided tape on this. So none of these modifications are permanent as far as making holes or anything of that sort. Yeah, that's got a little bit of oil on it from the lead screw, so I'm going to have to clean that up for the adhesive to stick. But actually, when the wires are in it, it's not going to want it. Well, I could put it upright. Yeah, that'll have to go upright. All right, so I'm going to need to cut this right about here. Can you guys see what I'm doing? No, you can't. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm going to cut this wire right here. This is the one coming from the new heater. So this is going to be cut right here. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I do need 3 because I need the 1 in and the 2 out for each side. Yeah. So I need 2 Wago clips with 3 prongs each. Yeah, let me use this. See, some of these 120 volt wires will work with a stripper like this, but some of them need a stripper like that, like a residential electrical stripper or a linesman. But the wires inside will work with this fine. Okay, this has a setting on it, how much tension it gives, so you don't rip the wires. But sometimes it finds its way to a low setting. When I don't remember setting it that low. Okay, now this wire is going to get cut, and that's going to be the other one. Shit, I had this wire routed out nice too. This is just so much thinner. I feel like this is probably the better wire to use, especially since I'm putting 2 on it. This is much heavier gauge. Then again, it's just heavily insulated. The inside wire is not all that thick. And it's going to be a lot easier to have it coming in with the more thin wire. So I probably ought to just use this. I could just slide it down in those clips a little bit, because I'm just going to need a little bit additional slack, which is going to make it even shorter. And I kind of wanted to keep it because it was longer, but it is what it is. I'm just going to get a small snip. And then I'll do one more short clip when I start the print, and I'll show you guys what temperature it gets up to and how fast and all that kind of stuff with 2 heaters. This they didn't do in the other video. They did use this heater and set it up with 1, but that's typical me to take it a step further. I always got to push the limits, which is not always a good quality. Alright, I think I'm going to go right there. Yeah, this is the blue and brown, typical Chinese electronics colors, which mean nothing here. Matter of fact, I don't even know which one's hot and which one's not. Shit, they really mean nothing here. I don't even know what the hell they're for right now off the top of my head. I'm gonna Google it real quick. What are blue and brown wires in Chinese electronics? Chinese electronics, blue and brown wires are typically used to indicate the following. Blue is neutral and brown is live. Okay, so brown goes with black. All right, so let's strip these. And I actually think I'm going to end up putting, see, it went right back to low again. Brown is going to be All right, I'm gonna put the Wagos right here on the back of the power supply, actually. All right, so that's gonna be my live right there, and my neutral over here. These Wagos make this so easy and convenient compared to, I mean, it's not that it's hard splicing it, but it's a lot neater like this than having wire nuts or even like a screw connector, or crimp connectors aren't bad, but this does make it very neat and very simple. You don't even have to put a ferrule on it with this. I mean, screw terminals, you can use a ferrule crimp, but this it wouldn't even make sense to use a ferrule in here. I don't think it would even fit. All right, there's two. Actually, this is gonna have to get stripped further back because I need more wire exposed so it can split up further. Okay. Sorry about the background noise. The church is here a little early. So in case you guys haven't seen any of my videos, this is a commercial building. I own the building, but I rent out the entire upstairs to different businesses. So I have a dentist, a Boost Mobile. There's a bunch of different stores, and I get to use the whole 10,000 square foot basement for my workshops and my business, which is why I bought the building, because I wanted to use it for my business, and the tax deductions that come with owning the building you use for your business and all that stuff, but it ended up being a good investment. Okay, now I just need this is the wire that's coming in that I'm going to use. All right, and that's it. It's going to be done in just a second here. It's a pretty straightforward modification. Honestly, the first part of it was too. This is a relatively easy thing. So pretty much, if you have basic electrical skills, like basic, I mean, all you need to do is know how to strip a wire and put it into a terminal that has literally a little button that you flip for it to close. Put it in there and flip the button, and plug it into the wall, and be careful, obviously, and if you need some advice, you can comment, and I'll always respond. But I mean, this is really like it's a basic repair. I mean, it's a basic modification. Okay. So I mentioned about the building, in case you're wondering why I'm dealing with a church making all that noise, because it's Sunday, and that's the day they get to do that. They don't come here during the week and make noise, so I have peace every night after 5. Even honestly during the day, none of the other businesses make any noise, except the dentist's equipment down here, but that's like all the way around the other side. It's too far to hear it from here anyway. Okay, that's it. So let me show you what it looks like. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's both of them wired together, and that'll go into the wall. And that Wago, honestly, I'm just going to leave it right there because it's not going anywhere. Those wires are holding it in place. It does not need to be adhered to anything because I put both of the wires through this small wire channel right here that was already there. And then I put this one through these 2 clips, and that's holding that, and that thing's not going anywhere. It's a good setup that's already there to add this to, because it makes it really easy. This was really surprisingly simple. And then the heaters, the way they come, they just fit. There's very little modification to do to the actual heaters. It's just that power button. I popped that off on this one like I did on the other, and you'll want to do that because it's not gonna allow you access to it once you install it, because where the heat comes out, you have to have the power button up against the wall. but you're not going to need it anyways if you use the thermostat thing that I showed you in the first video also, because that's what I have controlling it. So that's what turns on the heat and off the heat at a certain temperature. So as long as you're not just leaving it running for, you know, an undetermined amount of time, you should be fine. This longer screw was for something specific. I don't remember what right now, but oh, the fan cover, that's right. Okay, that was just like that. I mean, it's really a straightforward modification. And this printer, I mean, I don't think this printer likes being messed with. This stuff isn't messing with it. This is completely outside of the Bambu, whatever ecosystem, whatever you want to call it. It's not touching any of the. It's not touching the motion controller on this printer. It's not touching any of the electronics in the actual printer. This is completely separate. The electronics are, you have your power coming in and it's going right to that Wago and then to the two heaters. It's not touching anything to do with the actual printer. So it doesn't actually modify. It's kind of tough to call it a modification because you're not actually modifying the printer. You are, but you're just adding something to it. You're not changing anything about it actually. So it's still everything is still the same. You're just adding temperature to the interior without modifying anything else about the printer. So I mean, that's a good thing, because this wouldn't really affect your warranty because you're not doing anything that is changing the printer. You're not changing the printer at all. You're really doing nothing that's changing the printer. So there's no reason why this would affect any warranty. Oh, that doesn't go there. That's where the fan gets mounted, I believe, right? The fan shroud? No, it's not. That goes right there. Okay. Well, I guess I'm missing a couple screws then. I probably knocked them around. That would help. Let's see. I have plenty of these screws if I can't find them. Oh, here they are. All right, there's one plastic screw and one metal screw. This goes here. These are the ultra low profile. So if you need extra screws for these, you want to make sure you get the right ones or use the right ones. They're ultra low profile. They're not metals. They are metal. I'm sorry. They're machine screws. So if you know what a machine screw is, it's just like the straight threads. It's not pointed. That's done. Now these go in. This is that way. All right. Okay, so that's it. It's done. This is the extra cable that I was going to use and ended up using that one because it's more narrow and it's going to fit better. And I mean, that's really it. That's all there is to it. It's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video in just a second and I will put this back, plug everything back in. Really, I don't need to do much. This is the thermostat. This is going to just plug into the thermostat, and then this is going in the wall. That's it. And I just need to hook up the AMS and, you know, standard stuff, but that's it. This is your one plug for everything, and you're done. Plug this in, put the temperature you want, and that's that. It's very straightforward. So I feel like this is a modification that just about anybody with a Bambu Lab printer can do, because I mean, it is the one printer, or one of the few printers that you can just buy and print with reliably and not have to modify. But people that buy 3D printers are, for the most part, modifying things because they like to make shit. So if you want to do this modification to print with higher temperature materials or print better with the moderate temperature materials it can already print with, at which I've already seen and I'm going to show you shortly that this prints way better with the temperature, then this is a modification you should definitely be able to do. So hopefully what I've shown you so far can get you there. If you need help, if you don't know what to do on something, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help you out. But hopefully anybody that watches this that wants to do this to their Bambu Lab printer, you can do it. I will attach the links for this. I don't often do that because I don't often do much modification on the video, which is about the only thing I don't modify, but I don't do that because I want to get the videos out to you guys, and honestly I don't have a lot of time to do stuff like this, so I try to do it as quick as I can. Anyways, I'll be back in a little bit to show you the print. Later. Okay, hey guys, I'm back. So I got the printer back in its place. Obviously I took the opportunity to push some of this stuff out. I got to just sweep it up, but it's 52 degrees in there already, and it's been a little bit because I actually had this print set up and sliced, but then I ended up I had 2 of the hot end parts for the stealth burner in there, and it was going to be a 6.5 hour, 7 hour print. So I took out the second because I print these very durable. This is like 8 top and bottom layers, 6 walls, and 40% infill. So I print them really durable because I want them to be really durable. So, you know, especially with ABS glass fiber, which I usually use polycarbonate carbon fiber or glass fiber because it's much stronger. Honestly, even just regular PC Tough is much stronger, but I can't get PC or PC Tough in this color blue. I have it in blue. It's just a lighter shade of blue. This royal blue, that's the color of the printer. So I'll show you the stealth burner toolhead that I printed with that. So you can see, like, even these I ordered. These are like gaskets. They go in the middle of the 2020 extrusion. Unfortunately, I have that contrast of blue for those because that's the only thing I can find them in, and the hinges as well, because this is so much stronger, and the hinges really need to be strong structurally, not heat-wise. But it's much more heat resistant to polycarbonate. It's a better material, and I had all this stuff made in polycarbonate, but the color, I just like this color better, and I just printed everything very dense and you know, very strong as far as infill and amount of layers and whatnot. But this is the color. That's the tool head. I actually had to modify that because this was for a Nomi 1. And the Nomi 2 is significantly bigger, but obviously I've modified everything on this. I made it work for a CPAP and an LDO orbiter and the Dragon High Flow and the Nomi, and you know, and the nozzle camera and the cable chain, because I have too many wires going not to use a cable chain, unless I got like a much bigger gland and custom made something to mount it. But even then, I don't mind the cable chains. That's actually a 10 by 15 on the x-axis, and the y is the standard 10 by 11 millimeter, and then in the back is another 10 by 15 because I needed the extra space. I have a lot of stuff going to it. So anyways, it prints really well. This is printing really well too. I have a little bit more tuning to do on it, but surprisingly, my high temperature printer is, not surprisingly, I've been working on it a lot longer, but see, this I have to actually push it to engage the lock on the door because of all the seals around it. So this is actually like a good sealed enclosure, and even on the top, because I put these gaskets all around the top as well. So it seals really well. So, and then it has the foam, the small foam on the top, but then that meets the rubber, and this makes a good seal. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna make 2 clips to hold the front down, and maybe even 1 for each side or 2 for each side. But like the side panels, I've mounted incredibly overdone. Kind of is really the only way I can think to describe it, because you see I put like 3 clips in between each corner clip, and they're all done with the real you know, T-nuts that are made for this, not these M-lock, whatever they call them, but these are M-lock nuts. These are for M-lock stuff on a rifle. Those fit right in M-lock slots, and they were that before they were ever this. So that's what I call them. But I use the ones that actually snap in, so that I don't have to worry about them coming out every time I take it off. But yeah, on every side there's 3, except for where the handle is. But there's 3 in the middle, and then the 2 corners, and the same thing on all the other sides. Because I wanted to really make it seal, because I did put a standard PTC heater in here in the back, if you see it, right next to the whichever one is on the left, A or B motor, I forget which one it is. But yeah, I made it sealed, and then if you see, I laser engraved the door. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but if I put something behind it, you probably can. Put this schematic of the EBB 36. So yeah, I laser engraved that. It came out pretty good for acrylic. But yeah, it's pretty well sealed. I'm not going to insulate this. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to make sure it has a seal. And you know, I haven't printed anything really high temperature with it yet. I've been using PLA and PETG to test and calibrate it. Once I get it where I want it with those, which is, it's pretty good right now. I can show you. Well, maybe I can't. I had a tuning tower from yesterday, but I don't know where I put it. But it came out, I mean, like there was nothing to even change. It came out really good. There wasn't any ringing. I'm getting it there. So I'm getting ready to start printing with ABS. I'm not doing it right now because I'm working on my CNC machine. And also, you guys can keep your eye out for, I'm making a video right now about my MR1 CNC. So if you guys are into 3D printing, you're probably into CNC machining too. So I just did proper cable management. I'm mounting a monitor on the ceiling where I can drop it down and back up whenever I need to. A touchscreen, a second touchscreen to go to the workstation PC. But it's a big difference. I did a 30mm cable chain on the top. It was just a mess. They don't really give any good way of cable management. That's the only thing that they lacked on. It's a really good machine and really good support. It's a great company. The only part is the cable management they didn't do very good on, and I've been meaning to get to it. I've had the materials. I bought the 30mm cable chain. It's 15 by 30 a while ago, and I've had that, and then all the other stuff that I did for a while, and I just got around to doing it. So I'm gonna make that video today. So I'm not sure when I'll put it up. Probably, hopefully, I'll get them both up today. But I want to get a clip of this done so I can show you these coming right out of the printer. So that'll be coming up. All right, see you later. Hey guys, so I just finished putting the second small PTC heater in the Bambu Labs, but just for the heck of it, I took one of the parts out because it was going to take so long. So I decided to use my high temperature printer that I recently built and do the other parts and also compare them and see how they came out versus each other. Because that's getting up to 55, 60 in the chamber. This is at 65, and it's been there since I told it to go there. And the bed was at 100 like ridiculously quick. There's a big bed heater on this and 2 small bed heaters. It has a 1,000 watt and 2 250s. So the bed heats up insanely fast, and the nozzle, it's a Goliath nozzle. That thing heats up. It's at 300, like faster than you can get to 100 on most. So right now it's at 260, 262, but it's supposed to be at 260. It's going to go to 270 after the first layer. But the way the first layer is going down, I think this competition is going to be a little stiff. So we'll see. But I'm just fine-tuning the Z height. Very fine, because it's already pretty damn good. I have the beacon scanner on the contact mode, the new mode that they have for it, where it actually touches the bed. It's been good in this printer. I tried it in the Boron and had to take it back off and put it back on the scan mode, which it still does the bed mesh on scan mode. It just does the initial leveling with the probe, but with the contact. But It's the Voron I had a couple of times where it hit the bed too hard. It's actually very gentle when it works properly, but I don't know what it is that it was doing on that printer. But anyways, it's this is actually set to print even faster than the Bambu. This is going to go. The movement is at 400 and the printing is at 250. I think I'm not sure what the Bambu's speed is set at. I have to check that. But I don't think it prints ABS glass fiber that fast. But this one can with that nozzle and all the other temperatures. So yeah, you can see, I'll show you the temperatures, and then the water cooling is obviously on. There's the temperatures right now currently. So we have 66 in the chamber, 100 on the bed, 270 on the nozzle, 271, which is right where it's supposed to be. Actually, I think the Z needs to be a little bit higher. Yeah, that looks good. All right, and I'll let you guys see how it's doing printing. And here's the water cooling. You can see all the specs on the screen. You can see how fast it's going, RPMs, liters per minute. It's going 970 RPM, 960 something, 70 something, somewhere in that range, and 185, 79, there's somewhere in there, liters per minute, liters per hour rather. And I'm getting 31 Celsius on the temperature of the water. But the water on this printer is actually cooling the extruder directly, and it's directly connected to the nozzle. So I had it where I had a separate water cooling block on the bottom of the extruder that was right at the nozzle, but it was kind of bulky that way, and I had seen that this could be used without doing that by just going directly into the extruder and having that be water cooled, which is what I've done, and it works tremendously. It works honestly better than the additional water cooling block. It's better like this than it was, so I'm very happy with it. So we'll see. I'll let you know at the end of the video. I'll throw this in the Bambu Labs video, but I have a lot more videos to make with this high temp printer now that it's really done and really printing like reliably. I can just start printing on this anytime and not have any problems, which has not been the case. But now it is. It's completely done, and it's printing extremely well. I've gotten some really good prints out of this, and I haven't had any problems in a while. I mean, it was months of building it and modifying it and getting it perfect, but it is now. So I'll show you real quick the Bambu Lab, how that's going. I'll put it up on the screen. All right, so there's the Bambu so far. Let me get it where you can see it a little better. So that's how it's doing. Obviously, I started it a lot before the other one, but let's check the speed while I'm at it. Infill, yeah, no, outer wall 200, inner wall 300. They're close to the same speed. So it's they're close to the same speed. So it's going to be interesting. So I didn't even, let's see how long that one's going to actually take to finish. That one is gonna, let's see, let me zoom out so you can see. That's going to be approximately, it's saying ETA, oh, it's saying like 3 hours and 47 minutes, which is long. I mean, the other one is printing 1, 2, 3, it's printing 4 parts, these two, and then the 2 for the orbiter. But I don't think it's actually going to take that long. It usually doesn't. So it usually finishes faster because that one starts much quicker. It doesn't do all those pre-print tests. It obviously it homes and all that kind of stuff, but The only thing I do need to still do is add a nozzle wipe in that printer. That's the only thing I haven't gotten around to. And now that I've done it in the Voron, it's going to be simple because I know exactly what to do. But anyways, I will let you guys know how it goes out. I'll show you how it turns out later.